Welcome to Ft.Myer documentary. I'm going to keep this video very brief. I appreciate you tuning in. So as you can see, scrolling across the center of the page, CEH-SPC, you're very familiar that the initials represent, it identifies who the judge is. The CEH is Charlene Edwards Honeywell, and the SPC is Sherry Postal Chapel. She's a federal judge now, but that's besides the point. She was the magistrate judge at this time underneath Charlene Edwards Honeywell. Now, I drew your attention to the initials because I want you to look at the very top of the page. And here we go. I'm going to zoom in. So you see the initials at the very top. CEH-SPC. So that's the significance of the initials being in the center of the page. I want to draw your attention to that. Without any further delay, I'd like to draw your attention to this very similar document. It was recorded on the same date, and it has the document number, how you identify it is. And let me back up. The initials on this one is UA-SPC, and the UA represents unassigned judge, and the same magistrate judge, SPC, Sherry Postal Chapel. Now, as you see, in next to it, it has document number 47. The previous one I showed you had the same document number, the same date. And I know you say, well, this is an old case, and I beg to differ. It never entered the court. I was denied access to the court. Up until this day, they are still moving stuff around to cover their tracks. So let me just take you back. So we look at the UA-SPC document number 47 and that date, 11/9/10. So once again, same order, but with the CEH, Sherry Postal Chapel. Let me correct myself. Honorable Judge Charlene Edwards Honeywell. The CEH, Charlene Edwards Honeywell, Magistrate Judge Sherry Postal Chapel. Document number is the same as what I just showed you with the UA-SPC, document number 47. Now, moving right along. This is a docket sheet. What I showed you previously was an order of the court that stems within this docket. So here we go again with the CEH-SPC. This is the original and authentic docket of the court. This is the one they electronically deleted. And if you go on Google, you used to can find this, but they deleted this and all records. Now, 1 second, as I said, I'll be brief. Now, this is the docket that matches the fraudulent order of the court that I showed you with the UA-SPC, unassigned judge. So she was her own unassigned judge before they flew in the judge from Minneapolis, Minnesota, who overheard the trial of the co-defendants of the gentleman, those guys that killed George Floyd. So if you research that case, they did no federal time. He was the federal judge, Paul Magnuson. He was the federal judge in that case. They received 3.5 years in state court, when it came to federal court, he ran it concurrent. And they never stepped foot in a federal court. He's biased and he has indifference when it comes to civil rights. But here you are right here. It's the UASPC, and I put that there to draw your attention to what's at the top. Now, again, I'll get back to the fact that you may think this is an old case, but let me address that. As I promised, to get back to the fact that, as you can see, her name referred to Sherry Poster Chapel. She's holding herself out to be the judge. My name is underneath, Anderson versus City of Naples. Then there's a partial case number without the initials, so hopefully you can understand what I'm talking about now. So you see, the case number is there, but it doesn't have reference to a judge. It just have MD Florida, Middle District of Florida. But it doesn't have the UA, nor the CEH-SPC, nor the UA-SPC. It just has the number underneath Anderson. Now, more importantly, as I said, I'll address the fact that it's not an old case. When was it last updated? I want you to speak it out loud. When was it last updated? Last update, February 22nd, 2023, 10:15 a.m. So I just want you to know that this is how long it's been ongoing. This is how long they've been kicking the can down the road. This is how long they've been trying to avoid being indicted for wire fraud, conspiracy, and racketeering, because this left Florida, went to Atlanta, Georgia, and they forged a panel of judges' signatures. And on top of that, the same judge that, as I mentioned, was the judge in the federal case against those guys in the George Floyd, those officers in the George Floyd, the defendants who received the 3.5 years in state court, and he ran it federally, concurrent with the state court. That judge, Paul Magnusson, they flew him into Florida to throw the case. So that's enough information for this. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll address that there, cause 42-1981, civil rights. That's not what I filed. That's not in writing by me. So this is to, if they missed any other hurdles, the judge wouldn't have jurisdiction to rule on this matter, this cause of action. And as you see underneath that, nature of suit, 360, that further shows the conspiracy, that further shows the intent to deprive me of my civil rights. This is not what I filed, and just to keep everything moving smoothly, I'll address that in another video. This is Pro Se Mike Documentary. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.